Hey guys, just jumping on here quickly to let you know that coming up on Sunday the 29th of December, we're doing something a little bit different. So we're going to still be meeting at Eastgate at 10 o'clock that day, but we're not going to be having our usual service. We're just going to be having a time to pray. This is the time to pray. We really feel like this is a season to press in and pray and press in for the move of God that we believe He already wants to give us. I was just reminded today of the story of when Jesus came down the mountain and walked on the lake towards the disciples. And if you read about it in the book of Mark, it's really interesting because it actually includes something that you don't read about in the others. It says that he was about to pass them by. So they're on this boat and in the middle of this lake and the storm is going on, and Jesus has climbed down a mountain, and then he's walked across this huge lake, which is like a mini ocean really, come all that way, and then he's about to walk past them. What's that about? Why would he come all that way to walk past them? Well, how many of us know that he didn't really plan on walking past them at all? This is really a picture of what the Lord does to us today. He comes 95% of the way to be near us, but he wants to know, will you come the other 5%? Will you walk the final 5%? How much do you want to be near me and with me? Will you let me pass you by? And so really the cry of our hearts really is to be a people who will be like, no, Lord, we do not want to pass you by. We do not want to let you pass us by. We do not want to be a generation that lets you pass us by. Lord, we want you. We want you more than anything. I was reminded of an amazing story recently of a friend of mine who his whole life really is a testimony to the power of prayer. When he was 10 years old, he came from this crazy background. There was so much crime, there was drug abuse, there was trauma, and he'd never been in a church building in his life. And when he was 10 years old, he found himself in the back of a church building one day, and this man was preaching, and this little boy, John, his name is, he was there and he just didn't know what he was doing there, but something marked him that day. He ended up running out of the church building and he never went back in that church building, but it just wouldn't leave him. Fast forward 30 years later, he finds himself giving his life to Jesus. He's had this crazy life. He's been in crime. He's been in prison. He's had drug addiction problems. And he has this dramatic encounter with the Lord, and his life gets turned around. He gets saved. And right after that happens, he bumps into the daughter of the man who was preaching in that church 30 years before. I'm not kidding you. This is real. And he bumps into her and he tells her what happened. He goes, my life's been turned around. I met Jesus. And she says to him, do you know that my dad noticed you that day at the back of the church and he never forgot you? He's been praying for you every day for 30 years. And they had this incredible moment where my friend John realizes the reason I'm standing here right now telling you this story is because of the faithful prayers of that man. And then that man got to hear about it. He got to hear that his prayers, his faithful prayers, had been answered. It's amazing. Prayer is incredible, and I think it's a season for us to get excited about prayer and to push back against passivity, because passivity is coming up against us in the church, and it's time to take that down, and the way to take that down is to get intentional about prayer. So come and join us on the 29th of December, that Sunday. If you're in different parts of the country or the world visiting family and you physically can't be with us, join us on YouTube and get praying with us. So if you're joining us on YouTube, it'll be slightly earlier. Normally YouTube, we start at 10:30. It's going to be 10 o'clock that day. Come and join us. It's going to be amazing. I'm excited. See you there.